You're in the market for a luxury SUV and you want EV. Where do you start? Well, today I'm taking two of them head to head, the Kia EV9 and the Rivian R1S. Let's start with the Kia EV9. This is actually the 2024 Kia EV9 all-wheel drive, long-range GT line. And if you've seen any of my Kia videos, you know that GT line is really just the sporty appearance package. The EV9 starts at $73,900. So we are clearly in the luxury SUV market right here. This one, as outfitted, comes in at $78,430. Now we want to get that price down as much as possible. So next thing we're looking at are tax credits. So until very, very recently, the Kia EV9 was not even eligible for tax credits because it was made in South Korea. Well, as of May of 2024, Kia just opened up a plant in Georgia and they are rolling the EV9s off the line. So if you buy an American assembled EV9, you are eligible for the federal tax credit. And this is the 2025 Rivian R1S. Now, Rivian, if you don't know about this one, is an American company founded in the U.S. by an engineer in Florida. It's now actually based in California, but they manufacture everything in a funny little town called Normal, Illinois. What that means is U.S. manufactured may be eligible for the U.S. tax credit. Let me tell you what that means. So this one that we're looking at right here is the Performance Dual Max, and it's priced at just over $100,000. Not eligible for the federal tax credit because the vehicle has to come in at $80,000 or less. So to do more of like an apples to apples comparison with the EV9, I'm going to talk about this in the same way that the Dual Standard would be. So the Rivian Dual Standard would come in, or it would start at $75,900. That actually makes them a little bit more equivalent, a little bit more in the same class if you're looking for a luxury SUV. So now that we've got prices out of the way for both the EV9 and the Rivian, we're going to do a walk around outside, inside, and show you some of my favorite features. What you're looking at is a 122-inch wheelbase, galvanized steel body, and 21-inch tires. The other thing that I like about this, especially on this really hot day in Portland, is that it comes with a front windshield solar coating. That's important, ladies, if we want to protect our skin, and men too. It has a profile similar in nature to the Kia Telluride, one of my favorite vehicles in the past few years. And you'll have to pardon a little bit of the dust. We had a little bit of fun on some of the back roads of Portland, Oregon. Oh, whoops. Looks like we had a little too much fun back here. And then the other thing that I want to show you is that this is where you will find your charging port, right here on the right rear part of the car. Let's take a look at the outside of the Rivian R1S. Looking at the beautiful design of the Rivian R1S in the hot Portland sun, but hopefully you get a good idea of the design and maybe the sound. Now, it is a hot day, so we've got that AC cranked, but it's a little louder than I would expect from an EV. I do love the design elements on the outside. And this one has a wheelbase of 121.1 inches, which is actually just slightly, ever so slightly smaller than the EV9. The wheels typically are 20-inch tires. I cannot confirm that these are 20-inch. They look bigger than 20s to me. Again, this is the Performance Dual Max we're looking at, and when I'm talking about a comparison, I'm talking about the Dual Standard. This body is made of a galvanized steel and aluminum and composite body. So it's a little bit different than the steel of the EV9. And the charging port should be, there it is. Let's see if we can open it. I think we're going to have to press a button for that one. Can you open the charging port? So inside there's a button There we go. There's the charging port. I actually like the location of this better than the EV9, especially if you're going to front end into your driveway. It just makes it easier to charge. Head inside where it's a little bit cooler, and I'll tell you some things about the engine, how it drives, and what it looks like on the inside. Take a look at the interior. Kia's done a really nice job with their interiors. It's simple, but not stark like you might find in a Tesla. You do have a continuous screen. You'll see that it's different in the Rivian, but you do have a continuous screen. And this screen is actually 12.3 inches. So you've got a nice display over here for the driver. And then this is all of your driving information. You do have a head-up display. It's really hard to show on video. That is something Rivian does not have. It does also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto mirroring. So this is a wireless connection. You can charge your phone wirelessly here and then get all of your information up on this screen here. Oh, you're looking down here? Yes, it has room for my fancy pants water bottles. And you can also close this right here. You'll find all your USB connections and connectivity down here and lots of storage space down here. I actually got lost in the EV9, spent a lot of time driving back windy roads, gravelly roads, and it was super comfortable and had amazing handling. But the one thing I'm not crazy about is turning this car off and on. This is the button. It took me forever to find it hidden down here behind the steering wheel and this transmission. Like, why did we do it this way? I don't know, maybe because you can, but I'm not crazy about that. Now let's get in, let's talk about the drive and the interior. Now, one thing that I do actually like, instead of that one continuous screen, it has two separate screens. And it's definitely leaning more into that Tesla generation where everything is controlled on the screen. Whether you love it or whether you hate it, there is definitely going to be a learning curve because we have no knobs or no buttons. But again, it doesn't have that stark feeling that a Tesla or even a Mach-E does. So I do like the two separate screens. It's a this is a 15.6 inch screen. It does not have Apple CarPlay. It uses a Rivian app. This is what the dash looks like. I think it's got nice materials. I love the Rivian logo. And the cool thing is the climate control. I really like this feature to be able to change your vents and the directions just like this. And you can do this for all three rows. We have plenty of storage space down here. I found they're a little lacking in some of the USB ports, or if they're here, they're just hidden, but lots of lovely storage compartments. It does require you to have a key. Whoops. Yep. It doesn't like it. I moved the key. It requires you to have a key right here. And this is a wireless charging pad. We've got a nice console here. And then this is a 7-passenger vehicle. Let's take a look at the back. Now in the back seat, you're going to find, much like the front seat, these are leatherette seats, which at first I was a little opposed to, but I'm actually totally cool with that. Like less dead animals. I guess that's good. And these are also captain's chairs. So that makes this a 6-passenger vehicle. What's really cool back here is you have 42.8 inches of leg room, and that makes space for these lounge seats that offer power leg rests. I'm totally serious. Watch this. Leg rests and heated and ventilated seats. Like, those are the kinds of extras you should be getting with a luxury vehicle. So the other cool thing about this row is this button right here is called something like easy entry tilted third row seat. You know the term, but you basically push this button. It's going to tilt the whole thing forward. Supposedly makes it easy to get in the back. Let's see if that's true. I mean, for me, that was really easy entry, and the legroom back here, at least the height of the seat, is really awesome. So this is not what I would consider an emergency third row. This is a good third row for 2 passengers. The last thing I want to show you in this very dirty Kia is the cargo space. If we put all of the seats down, which I won't do right now, you get 81.7 cubic feet of cargo space. So also like Kia, we don't do leather anymore. We do vegan leather or leatherette, whatever you want to call it. It's fake, but I don't mind it because the quality, this is not the vinyl seat of your Datsun Youth, okay? These are nice seats. They're comfortable seats. And you'll notice this is a 60-40 split. So 3 passengers here, 2 passengers in the back. And the legroom isn't as ample as the EV9, but no complaints about the comfort. All right, we're going around. We're going to finish up with my favorite feature of the Rivian, and that is this lift gate. Get ready. Okay, we're lifting up, and look, we've got a lip here, kind of reminiscent of first generation Volvo XC90. This comes down. It's like a little bench for you guys here. And I will say that with all of the seats folded, this does best the Kia EV9 with 88.7 cubic feet of cargo space. That's actually quite a bit more. Let's talk about the drive a little bit. It's a very smooth drive, very comfortable drive, very easy to handle, much like the Kia Telluride. My only complaint from the outside is that it feels a little low to the ground, but that actually makes for really stable driving. Now, this does have a dual motor all-wheel drive, so it's all electric, and it has 379 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. Okay, that torque rocks. So the driving is really awesome. And the range is pretty good. It comes in at 270 miles. And then the last thing is the warranty. So Kia offers a 60-month, 60,000-mile warranty. Rivian, it's your turn to weigh in. Let's talk about the drive. So if we are looking at the Dual Max versus the Dual Standard, so the Dual Max has horsepower of 665. The Dual Standard, still a surprising 533. The torque for the Dual Max, 829, a whopping 829 pound-feet of torque, and a highly respectable 610 pound-feet of torque for the Dual Standard, which is mainly what I'm comparing to the EV9. That's pretty solid. And driving it, I would say I had absolutely no performance qualms at all. And the range is comparable, 270 miles in the Dual Standard. If you bump up to the Dual Max, you're going to get a range of 410 miles. What I did sort of like not love about the driving is that it is, for lack of a better term, it's a softer ride. It's a bouncier ride. It almost feels like the suspension was a little too soft, really. Even though it has better ground clearance, I just didn't love the drive. It feels very big on the road. And I just did not feel as comfortable driving it as the EV9, which surprised me. It does offer one pedal driving, which I think that's either like a love it or hate it thing. I'm on team I hate it. I just don't like it. But if you want to get max regen out of your braking, then the one pedal driving is the way to go. Now the warranty is a 50-month warranty, 48,000 miles. So not as impressive as the Kia warranty. So it's not often that you get a chance to drive two amazing luxury EV SUV side by side. I did it, and as you can see, there are benefits to both, right? They both look cool, they both drive cool, they both have about the same range. The Rivian probably is a little bit faster, right? It's got the horsepower, it's got the torque, but the enjoyment in driving may be a little bit better on the EV9. So let me give you my final thoughts, and let me give you my recommendation. First of all, I admire innovative brands, so I love to see emerging brands like Rivian out there in the market. I also love a good underdog story, which is what the Kia EV9 is, or Kia in general. If I'm trying to do as close as I can, apples to apples, I gotta hand it to the Kia EV9. Now look, when it all is said and done, it's a lot of money to spend on a vehicle, and you're ultimately going to get what you want and what you feel comfortable with. But for me, in terms of what I like on the interior, comfort in driving, and the way the vehicle handles, this is my winner right here. Let me know what you think. Are you Team Rivian? Are you Team Kia? Or do you really not know? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. And in the meantime, thank you for joining me on this very, very hot day in Portland, Oregon for a look at two amazing cars. You can't go wrong with either one.